Hello, Rebel Queerling buddies. This is Princess Jenny coming to you with an important update before we jump into Failsafe Part 2. As many of you already know, Netflix is pulling She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, along with many other DreamWorks shows, off of the airways next month as of February 21st. And it's not going to be available anywhere else. You can't stream it anywhere else, and you can't even get the complete series on DVD. You can only get seasons 1 through 3, which is not great for us right now because we are currently covering season 5. So we are working our very, very hardest to get our final 3 episodes out to you before that deadline. We have this episode you're getting today. You're welcome. And then we have Heart Part 1, and we have a 2-parter for Heart Part 2. So we really want to give you all of these final 3 episodes before that February 21st deadline. So just keep your eyes on our feed, and hopefully we will get these all out to you in the next 5-6 weeks before that deadline hits. And you can also head to our website, heyadora.gay, to sign a petition to tell Netflix not to yank it from the airways. I don't think that's gonna, move the needle in the short window of time that we have, but maybe they'll bring it back. But in the meantime, keep your eyes on our feed, and we're gonna really, really try to get all these eps out to you in the available window that is still remaining so that you can watch the episodes as you listen to our coverage. That's the dream. I think we're gonna make it happen, so keep your eyes on our feed. We love you, and enjoy Failsafe Part 2. So we're back in Mysticore, and our pals are continuing down this hallway, and Shadow Weaver calls out a warning just as Dora steps onto a sigil, and flames shoot up dramatically around her. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Jenny, and then Catra, seeing that Adora is in danger, leaps through the fire to pull her out of the flames.
Yeah, she leaps dramatically into action to save her girl.
Jenny?
Yes, Meth?
We can even say it.
I mean, it's just the beginning. There's so much more coming. This is a big one. It's like the whole extended scene is the gayest moment.
This extended scene is the gayest moment. So there's the first small, tiny part of the gayest moment.
Yes, is Catra saving her girlfriend from a fiery doom.
Yep, and Adora saying, I'm okay. So Catra is on
her preferred position from the very first episode is straddling Adora on top of her. And then Adora also enjoes this position, obviously. She gives Catra the biggest cocky gay smirk. And, contrary to Catra's assertion at the beginning of the episode, this smirk says, I know you like me, dumbass. That's what that look says.
That is gay moment. There we go. Just another gay. Okay.
And she says, did you just jump into fire for me?
Cocky ass, gay ass Adora.
Yes. And then Catra says, what? No, shut up. And smooshes her face in the most adorable way.
I know. It's really cute. And Adora's like, you did, and gives this little snort giggle.
The snort laugh is the best part because she's so relaxed in that moment.
Yeah.
It's like they have this little moment where the whole rest of the world disappears. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, these two really know how to have that sort of moment in the middle of crisis. They know how to pull those small moments between the two of them.
Yeah, because they've never really had anything
other than that
outside of they've never been able to say oh, well, we can have fun together when everything's chill. Nothing is ever chill.
Nothing is ever chill. Yeah.
So they have to take these moments where they can.
And this is an adorable moment. And it's so gay. It's so gay.
It's so wonderfully, wonderfully gay. What? No, shut up. I don't like you.
Shut up. I don't like you. Yeah, you do.
I'm gonna smush your face while I straddle you. That's how much I don't like you.
Yeah, I definitely do that to people I don't like. I definitely don't put myself in peril or what I think is peril.
Yeah. I mean, she jumped through a fucking wall of fire. As far as she knows, that is what's happening.
As far as she knows, she was like, I will jump into a fucking wall of fire to pull you out.
Yes, as Buffy might say, I will walk through the fire.
So why do we keep saying, well, maybe it's a fire? Because as Glimmer points out, it wasn't actually any fire here in this particular one. It was an illusion, an illusory fire.
But Shadow Weaver says that some of the fire is an illusion and some is real. So, be careful, everybody. But I feel pretty confident in this particular situation that I could make the distinction, because just put your hand out. Do you feel heat?
Is it hot?
Yeah, if you feel heat, stay away. And if you don't feel heat, you're probably fine. So off they go into the Hall of Flames.
Which is unclear whether or not that they are, that is illusory. But
And there's plenty of space. It's just on the walls. It's not encroaching. So this is all just for effect. And it is a great effect, but it doesn't feel super stressful. It just feels like it's a great effect.
Yeah. It's like instead of having candles, there's just flames everywhere.
Yeah. So now they can see, which is helpful.
Everybody moves gaily forward except for Adora, who kind of just hangs back and
Yeah, Adora's bringing up the rear now.
She's soaking in what's going on, but she's following.
And she looks down at her hands again.
Yeah.
Which is a gesture that we are coming now to associate with her contemplation of what the fuck happened to She-Ra.
Mm-hmm.
And she's really, doubting herself and feeling freaked out and afraid to talk about it with anyone.
And so, of course, whenever Adora is doubting herself and afraid to talk about it with anyone, who just comes in and takes advantage of that? Why, it's Shadow Weaver. And not only is it Shadow Weaver, it's Shadow Weaver saying the absolute worst thing that she could say.
Yes, let's have a pep talk from our best buddy in this moment of need and vulnerability.
Because this is definitely the pep talk that Adora needs. So Shadow Weaver mentions to Adora, I see you and Catra are... fucking pregnant ass pause there. Close again. It's like that trope of the villain always knows the truth even before everybody else does.
Yes.
And it's just Shadow Weaver's oh, you two are gaying again, aren't you?
Yes. And Adora doesn't say anything right away. She just sort of side-eyes her and looks pissed and gives her that, angry glare.
Yeah. And Shadow Weaver kind of just needles in. Do you think that's wise? And it's oh, shut the fuck up, you evil human.
I know. Mind your own fucking business, lady.
Yeah, which is, what Adora pretty much says, but without the F word, because it's not a show for that.
Yeah, she says it's none of your business. She puts her hands on her hips.
Uh-huh. And Shadow Weaver says it is. And then brings in this. If your emotions are blocking you from becoming She-Ra, it's all of Etheria's business.
Mm-hmm.
How long has it been since you were able to transform?
Yeah, and Adora, as she says her next line, she starts crying and shaking a little. And she says, it's been happening ever since the Fright Zone. What if I'm losing her?
And I just want to kind of circle back to what Shadow Weaver said before we kind of move through. She says it's all of Etheria's business. Essentially what happens to Adora's body is all of Etheria's business. And I'm having source amnesia about this because it's something I just picked up such a long time ago. But there was a feminist theorist that, please, somebody just give me a little bit of context on this, but essentially said that a woman's body belongs to society and never to herself.
Ooh.
And I think about that a lot.
I don't know who said that.
If somebody knows where this theory comes from, please let me know. But that theory really kind of like something that sticks into my head. It's a male body, and it's an old feminist theory. So we are talking about ideas of male and female here, a binary terms here. A male body is able to move through the world as the default, right? And as such does not have this pressure put on the body to be all of these things that it needs to be accessible, to be attractive, to be motherly, to be all of these things. Men, yes, do have to deal with these things, but there is the particular type of ownership that a man has in his own body that a woman does not. And so that's something that I think about when I hear this. Once again, if you are familiar with this kind of theory or who came up with it, please let me know, because it's definitely something that I've heard in passing. And somebody told me who it was, and I was it just really kind of affected me. And that's what we're dealing with She-Ra here.
So I just looked it up, and I don't know if this is the source that you were thinking of, but I have a quote from Alexandra Kleeman's book, You Too Can Have a Body Like Mine. It says, a woman's body never really belongs to herself. As an infant, my body was my mother's, a detachable extension of her own. Then there was sex and a succession of years in which I trawled my body along behind me like a drift net. And then it just goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, activist Margaret Sanger famously argued that a woman's body does not belong to the government or the church, but to herself, stating it is her body. It does not belong to the church. It does not belong to the United States of America or any other government on the face of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be that it was like in dialogue between different people and in different contexts, because one was fiction and one was like social commentary.
Right.
But they probably had, it created dialogue.
Yeah. Yeah. And like that dialogue, what you just said is that dialogue of like, you're only saying something doesn't belong to the world if you recognize that indeed the way that the world interacts with it, it does.
Yeah. And like it creates this idea that like Adora has no right to privacy. She has no right to selfhood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She has no right to she has no right to use her body. And we're talking very specifically about her body, because that's what Shadow Weaver is talking about here.
Yeah. That she is a tool.
That her body is a tool, which we do learn, right? Like through the end of the episode is essentially being like, your body is a tool.
Yeah.
Do you have agency to use your tool? And Shadow Weaver does not believe that.
Yeah. The She-Ra is not a person. The She-Ra belongs to Etheria.
But Adora is also She-Ra.
Mm-hmm. And Adora is a person.
And Adora is a person. And that's the big conversation that, kind of starts to get laid out here in this episode for the rest of the series.
Yeah. But for the rest of the series, 2 more episodes.
Exactly.
I know we don't like to say it, but we have to prepare ourselves.
No, it's true. It's true. So we have Adora, and the other note that I have here is evil is very smart, and we hate it.
Yeah, we do. And I wish that Adora wouldn't let herself confide in Shadow Weaver here. Like she said to Catch at the beginning of the episode, Shadow Weaver can't do anything to us anymore. But it's like right here, Adora is giving Shadow Weaver power by confiding in her and letting herself be vulnerable to her. It's like, confide in someone else, girl.
Right, but also, like, that was a misdirection, right? When Adora says, like, a Shadow Weaver can't do anything to us anymore, we all knew that, indeed, Shadow Weaver can do everything to them.
Yes. I know I'm asking too much of Adora. I'm not judging her. It's so frustrating.
It's so frustrating because we're like, but this is not how we want to have the dramatic tension. We just want our pals to live happily ever after.
Yeah, I just want something better for her.
We just want something good to happen to this fucking kid.
Yeah. I just want, I want her to be protected from this.
Yeah, but Shadow Weaver's also excellent at manipulating Adora into being like, no, I can be a confidant.
Yeah.
It's a false sense of security. It's a false sense of intimacy. This is
exactly
the currency that Shadow Weaver trades in is manipulation around intimacy.
Exactly. Because she does the creepy face touch with her next line. Because, Adora says, what if I'm losing her? And Shadow Weaver says, She-Ra is a being of pure magic. To unleash her full strength, you must be focused, clear-headed. But you're letting your emotions pull you in too many directions. Catra, she distracts you, confuses you. Creepy face touch.
Creepy face touch.
Haven't you hurt each other enough?
I hate this.
And that's when Adora gasps because that line hits her so hard.
It hits her so hard.
Because again, she feels responsible for everything bad that happens to everyone, but especially to Catra. And then Shadow Weaver goes on, if you care about her, focus on protecting her. The world needs you as She-Ra right now, not Adora. And if She-Ra can't stop Prime, then we are all doomed. And the look in Adora's eye as they zoom way in on her eyes to show the full gravity of how that's hitting her. It just fucking hits me like a ton of bricks. Like the way you were, you had a moment where you were just so deeply identifying with Catra in the way that Shadow Weaver was fucking with her. And this is one of those moments where I so deeply identify with Adora in the way that Shadow Weaver is fucking with her. She's saying straight out, like, we need you to not be a person right now. We need you to just be the pillar of strength. And we can't afford for you to be a person.
Yeah.
Like, it hits me so, so deeply.
Yeah.
Like, I've never actually had anyone, like, I didn't have a person in my life who was like manipulating me on purpose like that.
Right.
But, like my childhood was so many experiences like that, where it's like nobody had to say anything like that to me because it was just so obvious that like everybody else who's supposed to be adulting is just like a pile of broken glass on the floor.
Right.
And it's like, what am I supposed to do? I can't be a pile of shit on the floor.
No.
Because then there won't be anyone left to take care of anything. Like, I have to. I have to soldier on. I have to be grown up. It doesn't matter that I'm 7.
Yeah.
Like, somebody has to. And there is no one else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that feeling of it has to be me goes so deep.
Yep.
And so to have someone verbalize it.
Yeah.
When you're already thinking it so deep in your bones and it's been worn down into the grooves of your brain so deeply, it's just so crushing.
It is. Yeah, I agree. And it's that I think you really hit it with this is to have someone verbalize it. She knows exactly what she's fucking doing. And she's specific about it.
Yeah.
Catra distracts you and confuses you. This is how, once again, driving the wedge like she's always done. You have this overwhelming sense of duty, and it's always been to what my needs are.
And I'm going to capitalize on that.
I gave it to you.
Yeah. The world needs you as She-Ra, not Adora. Like, oh my fucking God.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And like all of her friends have been spending the last 5 seasons trying to help her get past this. Here comes her original abuser, just wiping it all away in one stroke.
Also, she knows that She-Ra is part of Adora. Like, she asks, you can't conjure this person inside of you anymore.
Right, but she's saying that this is the only part of you that matters. Right? You have to, like, cut away all the other parts of you, shove them all down, ignore them. None of the other parts of you matter.
None of the other parts of you matter. Right.
You have to, like, burn them all away, squeeze out all the blood supply to all the other parts of you, fuck all those other parts of you.
Right.
Whatever you have to do to shut them down.
And that's the most insidious part here, right? Is that, like, Shadow Weaver's like, oh, this is a part of you. And you need to have that be the only part of you.
Right.
Yeah. And that's nasty. That's nasty business.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the first time that we see Adora really yank herself out of Shadow Weaver's grip. Yeah. And so Adora's last line to Shadow Weaver is really important here because then we see that Catra is listening.
Yeah.
She yanks herself out of Shadow Weaver's grip and she like snarls at her. I will stop Prime no matter what. And then the shot zooms out a little and we see that Catra was listening to this whole exchange, just looking very insecure. Like, she doesn't look angry. She just looks very insecure. Yeah. Again, with that look, like the whole world is being pulled out from under her again.
Because of Shadow Weaver.
Yes. And that's the thing. This is the difference between PTSD and complex PTSD, is that it's always again. It's like, this is all there's ever going to be for you. And you were so stupid that you thought things could ever be different.
Yeah, that's a really good analogy about the complex PTSD is just having the word again there. It's happening again.
Yeah. That sense of inevitability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, of course, just as we have this really high intensity moment, we then jump to our B story.
Yes, over at Clone Camp.
Over at Clone Camp, we have Clone Dak say, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" And then Wit's like, wait a minute, this is not Clone Dak. This is Hordak. It's boyfriend's time.
Yeah, he's starting to come back to himself because she doesn't even answer. She just stands there staring at him because somehow, maybe she's just being hopeful, but it seems like she really knows that this is him.
Yeah.
She just keeps staring at him until his anger like melts away and his expression goes blank.
Mm-hmm.
And he says in this kind of confused tone, "Why do I know your face?"
Yeah, and that's pretty wild.
Yeah, what are the odds?
Also, it's like, okay, I'm not really like, Hordak's kind of whatever. I'm not really a huge Hordak fan or whatever.
I mean, he's gone through a lot.
Well, also, as we've moved through the story, this idea, he has not been able to lose his core sense of self through this entire thing. Like, when he was on Etheria, something about something about Etheria gave him a sense of self.
Because he had so many years of living as an individual, and none of the other clones had that.
Right, exactly. And so, like, that's something that, like, they can't erase from him. I think that's cool. I still don't like Hordak, but I do think that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like him, but I think it's cool that he has a chance at a redemption arc now.
Yes.
Because of the experiences that he's had, and because he has someone who cares about him and believes in him.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know what's going to happen to him after the end of the series.
We don't.
But he has a chance to make his own choices and choose something different.
Right.
You know, he's obviously done a lot of bad shit.
He's done a lot of bad shit.
But so has Catra.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, she's also been abused, and so has Hordak.
Yeah. And in fact, a lot of this story is about, like, people that have been abused, specifically having their agency taken away from them.
Right.
Revisiting and regaining their agency very, very slowly.
Right, right. So he could be on a long path towards making good choices and becoming a better person. Like, we don't get to see it, but that's still a possibility.
Yeah, we don't.
And I like having that door open to possibility.
I do too. And that's what separates him from Horde Prime, which when we get there, we will see that.
Yes. And I do love this scene between Hordak and Entrapta right now.
Same.
You know, he says, "Why do I know your face?" And she says, "Hordak." And he turns away dramatically. I love how dramatic and emo all the clones are, including Hordak. He turns away dramatically. He says, "No, do not say that name to me. I have no name." And then he opens his palm to reveal that he's still holding her little loved crystal that she gave him back. She gave it to him way back, but he's been holding it the whole time he was in space.
He's been holding it the whole time he's in space. And what have you done to me?
It's so dramatic.
It's so dramatic. And Entrapta she has hope. She's like, "You remember me. You do remember me. I knew you would."
Yeah, she's so happy. And then they hold hands over the crystal.
Mm-hmm. She really likes boyfriends.
She sure does.
She does like this boyfriend of hers.
Boyfriends that are, you know, clones and partly made of tech.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we all have our types.
We sure do. So they get one moment to smile at each other and hold hands.
Yeah.
Before Swifty bursts in, also dramatically, to save her. You know, he yells, it's almost like the line from Alien, "Get away from her, you bitch!"
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
And he drags her away by her overall straps.
Uh-huh. And Hordak is so dramatic. Go.
He lets them go.
But he, of course, has to say, "Go. Maybe then these memories, these imperfections will leave me." And Entrapta's response, remember, your imperfections are beautiful.
Yep, with a big arm gesture and a big smile.
And that gets me right in the feels every single time.
Of course.
It's like one of those things where, like, you just constantly have to remember.
Yeah. And so, Meph, do you remember how excited you were in Save the Cat to talk about La Pieta?
Yes.
Okay, so I have something that'll be much shorter, but I've also been waiting 5 years to talk about it.
Yay! I'm excited.
When Entrapta says this line, "Remember, your imperfections are beautiful."
Yay!
It always makes me think of a scene from Winona Earp.
You have been waiting 5 years for this.
I've been waiting 5 years to talk about it. Which, as you know, is a show that I'm very fond of.
It is.
And so, friends, if you are a fan of Buffy and you have not seen Winona Earp, I highly recommend it. I will admit the beginning of the first season is a little bit hard to get through, or at least I found it a little bit hard to get through, but I only pushed through because I knew that there was a big gay treat coming. But the truth is, the gayness is not the only great thing about Winona Earp.
I think that's a really, like, rousing endorsement. The gayness isn't the only great thing.
Yeah. The dialogue is fantastic. Winona Earp is a fantastic, you know, ass-kicking, you know, badass feminist protagonist. There's a lot of great, you know, sister stuff between Winona and Waverly. And also, like, the male characters are great in the sense of, like, male characters in a non-patriarchal context who think that they're awesome, strong female leaders are great and just want to be there to support them,
Especially in a Western, like, oeuvre. Like,
Yeah, it's like a sci-fi Western.
it's a
basically.
sci-fi, like, sci-fi supernatural Western, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, maybe fantasy would be better. I don't know. It's a really good time. If you watch the first few episodes and you're like, I don't know about this, try to push through. Because once you get to, like, the end of the first season, it's all gravy from there.
Okay.
Anyway, so there is an episode in season 2, episode 209, when Waverly has just had a fight with her girlfriend and eventual wife, and she's out on a spa day with Rosie, who is their friend Doc's girlfriend. And so, Waverly is someone who has a lot of insecurities, especially early on. She didn't get a chance to finish college because she had to sort of stay home and take care of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But she's very smart. And so she always feels like she has to justify her existence by taking care of everyone and everything. That's kind of her vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So Rosie has convinced her to share that she has a coupon for 2 people to go to a spa. She's like, Waverly, you're really stressed out. You just had a fight with your girlfriend. Why don't you come with me to the spa?
Mm-hmm.
And so even at the spa, Waverly can't calm down. She doesn't really know Rosie that well. Rosie hasn't been around that long. She's like, oh, do you want some towels? Do you want some of this coconut water? Like, what can I do for you? What can I do for you? And Rosie's like, girl, chill. We're at a spa. Like, come get in the hot tub and let's just chill.
Yeah.
And they also have some sexual tension.
I was going to ask that.
Yes. So basically, in order to get Waverly to relax, Rosie, who has a PhD in biochemistry, ends up telling her, you don't have to be perfect all the time. And they're drinking champagne. And she's, if everything was perfect, champagne wouldn't have bubbles. And so she tells her this little cool biochemistry fun fact about how the bubbles in champagne come from tiny imperfections in the glass. So no defect, no bubbles, no magic. And then they kiss.
Oh.
They kiss in a hot tub.
Oh, I was not expecting that. I was just expecting I wasn't expecting kissy times.
Yeah, some hot bisexual kissy times. So it's really, really wonderful. I highly recommend it. It's funny. It's campy. It's gay as fuck.
Yeah.
It's a real good time. And so whenever Entrapta shouts, your imperfections are beautiful, I always think of Waverly and Rosie kissing in the hot tub and that line, no defect, no bubbles, no magic.
Aww. I love that.
I'm glad.
So we go from this wonderful, like, affirmation that indeed, like, the only thing that is perfect in one person is their imperfections.
Mm-hmm. Because that's where humanity lives, man.
Because that's where your humanity lives, and we're humanists here at Heodora. And then we jump to our A story, where they reach a giant crystal structure.
Yes, they have made it through the Hall o' Flames.
They've made it through the Hall of Flames, and now they're at the
Failsafe room.
They're in the Failsafe room. It's pretty phallic, Jenny.
Yeah, it's another giant crystal thing.
It's a giant crystal thing.
It's kind of hard to have a giant crystal thing that escapes any phallic resemblance.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we started at a cave and we're ending at giant crystals. So they're there, and it is overwhelming. I mean, this is like...
It's a huge tower. It's like 3 giant crystal towers pushed together, covered with First One's glyphs.
The only thing I have written here is giant, period, ass, period, crystals, period. Because that's, what it is.
Yeah, that covers it.
It covers it. Yeah. Glimmer wants to know if that's the failsafe. Bo is like, it's bigger than I thought it would be. How are we going to get that to the heart? Thinking that the giant, period, ass, period, crystals are the failsafe. And Shadow Weaver tells us that the failsafe is a code. It's not a thing. It's a code, and it's stored inside of the crystals.
It's like she's telling this directly to Adora. She puts her hand on Adora's shoulder.
Right. Because Shadow Weaver's like, I already knew all of this shit. And everyone's like, okay.
And then she takes Adora's hand. It's like Adora's a puppet at this point.
Yes.
She just grabs Adora's hand and pushes it against the crystal.
Yep.
And says, it needs a password. I think you already know what it is.
Like, not fucking cool. Adora does know what it is.
Yeah.
We're friends of Mara. Gay.
Mm-hmm.
The crystals only open and give you the code if you're gay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this is where it gets like really, really real.
Yeah.
So Adora says, the gay password, and the whole thing lights up and opens up in this very powerful and scary way. It's like crackling with like magical electricity, and like the score changes in this way that it's just like shit is happening.
Shit is happening.
And so now we have these 3 separate crystal towers with an open space between them. And then there's like a smaller floating crystal at the top with like a ring of some kind of energetic field circling around it. And the whole thing is just like glowing with blue energy. And it's just very, very powerful and intense.
It's crazy powerful, intense magic here. And Glimmer wants to know what it all says.
Mm-hmm.
And Adora says someone needs to go inside and accept the failsafe.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Of course, Shadow Weaver knows.
Mm-hmm.
It means the failsafe, and here we go. The failsafe must be bonded to a willing soul and carried to the heart of Etheria in their body in order for it to be deployed.
Mm-hmm. And whose body in this room doesn't really belong to them?
Why, it's Adora's. And Bo asks, is it safe? And instead of Shadow Weaver giving an actual answer, she says, we can't turn back now. When really she doesn't mean, she means Adora can't turn back now, right?
Right.
The failsafe is within our grasp. The same type of thing that you would say if you were like an evil, like, the power is in our grasps. It's like such an evil villain thing to say.
Yeah. And it's kind of not that dissimilar from Trump being asked a direct question.
Yeah.
And instead of answering in any way, he's just like, I don't like you. You're a very nasty reporter and you're a bad person. Like, he literally just says that. So that's a no then to that question.
So that's a no. We have no idea that it's safe. And of course, Catra picks up on this. Catra's figured this out way before. But now Catra, like, as Adora's like, okay, well, I gotta go do this. Catra runs towards her and grabs her and says, Adora, don't go in there.
Yep. Yeah. And this is a small point, but I just want to note it that Mila goes red at this point.
Yes.
Specifically, like, looking at Shadow Weaver, and stays that way through most of the rest of the scene.
Because Catra is not okay.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
And Shadow Weaver tries to push Catra away. Catra, this is not the time. Someone must take the failsafe. And Catra's like, then why don't you do it?
Yeah.
Because, Catra, incredibly socially intelligent, incredibly observational, knows when shit's going down.
And Shadow Weaver just says nothing. She just narrows her eyes.
Yep.
And says nothing.
Yeah. I've been watching you the whole way in. You've been in here before, haven't you? You could have taken the failsafe yourself and gotten all the power you ever wanted to. But you didn't. Why? And then we have classic gaslighting, like literally the definition of gaslighting from Shadow Weaver here. You're being paranoid. Literal definition of gaslighting, like from the movie Gaslighting.
Yes.
You are being paranoid. This is the only way to stop Brian. And then, turning his dynamic back to Adora, putting the pressure back on Adora, because this is the dynamic that Shadow Weaver understands. Put down Catra, raise up Adora. Tell Catra that she's not worth it. Tell Adora she's worth everything. Put that wedge between them. And put the pressure on Adora.
You know what you have to do, and I'm counting on you to do it.
And I'm counting on you. Right. Because in this way, Shadow Weaver is the one that gets to have all of the power.
Right. Like, it's not just about telling Adora that she's good and Catra's bad. Like, that's oversimplified. No. It's putting pressure on Adora that I'm counting on you to do what needs to be done.
Yes.
And everyone's counting on you to do what needs to be done. The whole fucking world needs you to do this.
Right. Exactly. I know you're not going to do it if you listen to Catra, but if you listen to me, you can do this and we can have the power, save the world or whatever. You are my tool.
Right. You are my right hand, blah, blah, blah.
You are my right hand. You are my tool, right? Like, that's the whole vibe here.
Right. The Slayer is the instrument.
The Slayer is the instrument. Exactly. Catra, very asking the question we all want to know. Why does it have to be Adora? What is going to happen to her, and what aren't you telling us? At this point, we all go, hey, wait, Katra made a really good point here.
Yeah, it's a good question.
All the best friend squad and Auntie Casta are like, oh, sure, a really good point here. The Milog is like, grr, 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 very angry.
Yes.
Shadow Weaver is like, okay. Fuck you, Katra, for calling me out, essentially, right?
Yeah, she's not happy.
She's not happy about this. So Casta, being the adult in the room, says, answer the question.
Yes. Yeah, and at this point, Shadow Weaver has sort of backed up, so she's in the center of the circle of everyone else standing around her. So it's like she has nowhere to flee to.
Yeah, she's on the spot here, right? Yeah, and so Shadow Weaver finally discloses, okay, whoever uses the failsafe must absorb the full magic of the heart when it is destroyed. Let's just take that in for a second. The person that uses this failsafe has to absorb all of the magic in the heart, which is all of the concentrated magic of the planet.
From the last 1,000 years.
From the last 1,000 years. Okay.
Yeah.
That much raw magical power would burn any mere mortal apart. Well, yes. It's like pure concentrated magic fire hose.
Yeah.
And none of us are strong enough.
Yeah.
And Shadow Weaver does not say this. I really want to point this out before we go to Adora's thing. Mm-hmm. Shadow Weaver does not say that Adora is strong enough. Adora says, but She-Ra is.
Yeah. Shadow Weaver just says none of us are strong enough. And then while she's saying that, Adora looks up at the failsafe with this expression of, again, the expression is like despair, but also this is her version of the same inevitability that Katra was experiencing before.
Yes.
It's like some part of her, it's like, I knew it would have to come down to me because it always does. And it's like she dared to have hope and now she feels stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. She got to have her tiny moment of getting, pushed in the face and straddled by her kitty girlfriend, and maybe sometimes things could work out and everyone
thinking it would be okay.
Thinking it would be okay. But she has to be the one to save the world. Mm-hmm. Also, she does it, spoiler alert, she saves the universe because of the power of gay love. Mm-hmm. But, the fact that she has to, get to a point that she gets to.
But that's not how she's framing it right now. Yeah.
But that's not how it's framed right now. It's framed as essentially you won't break apart if you're getting all this raw energy.
Right. You might be able to, you're the only one who might be able to withstand the enormity of how awful it's going to be.
And Shadow Weaver, only She-Ra can survive the process. No one else.
Only She-Ra can hope to survive the process.
That's right. Only She-Ra can hope to survive the process.
It's not a guarantee.
It's not a guarantee.
Because that's why Adora's next line is, she looks back at the crystal again and asks, and if I don't survive it? And that's when Shadow Weaver does another motherfucking creepy face hold.
She does.
It's like, why does Adora keep letting her do this? But again, it's just it's this deeply worn dynamic.
Right, exactly.
And Shadow Weaver says, then the magic will be restored to Etheria through your sacrifice. You will give us the power to bring us to victory. Prime will be defeated. Your friends will be free.
We don't really know that, Shadow Weaver.
I mean, it's the most likely.
Right.
It's the best case scenario, and it's the only possible way that they might win.
Right.
If this doesn't happen, then they're definitely not going to win.
Maybe I'm reading a little bit too into this, but it's what my job is here at Hey Adora. She uses the idea, she keeps saying sacrifice and power. This isn't the idea of we will be able to use this to overcome an enemy. She's it's very pointedly, you will be a sacrifice. You will give us power. There will be defeat. Mm-hmm. It's very you, not us. It's this is on you to sacrifice for power and victory. These choices, the choice of her language here is still very focused around the power of the power and not the power of of love and togetherness and, all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way Shadow Weaver could ever see it that way.
No. And then at this, we have everyone being like, what the fuck at Shadow Weaver, talking over each other.
Yeah, everyone starts yelling at once. It's like very chaotic.
Castra's, we have, you were planning this all along. And Catra was like, why are you surprised by this? It's not going to work. And Bo, we just hear Bo's voice cut through. There is no way we're risking Adora like that.
Yeah. And while they're all talking over each other, it's in the background. It's kind of subtle, but you can hear it. There's this quiet heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that?
I did. Yeah.
And so to me, I don't know if this was the intention, but I interpreted that as Adora's heartbeat. In this moment of chaos, it's like if you're the one in the middle of it, everything kind of recedes and you're just like alone in this internal world where it's like it doesn't matter what everyone else thinks. Like you're the one who has to live with it and decide it.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, like she's alone with this burden and it doesn't matter what everyone else thinks. Like ultimately, it's her decision. She has to decide. No one else can take that burden off of her shoulders.
No one else can take that burden off of her. And this, once again, Shadow Weaver did her thing. She was able to drive Adora away from people.
Yes, exactly. Not just Catra.
And everyone else. So Adora can be the tool.
Yes.
And this moment where we do everybody does kind of talk over everybody, and then we hear that heartbeat. It is very similar to Catra's dissociation in Once Upon a Time in the Waste as well.
Yeah. We've also seen Adora dissociate much more severely than this.
Correct.
This is just like sort of a small version of it.
This is a smaller version, but a larger moment.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's a high stakes moment.
Yeah. It's a very high stakes moment, but it's not an extreme dissociation. Like we also, when Adora went to Mysticor before in Light Spinner, we saw her dissociate in a much more extreme way.
She has the worst luck in Mysticor.
Yeah, Mysticor is not Adora's favorite place.
I really hope after they hopefully save the world, they do not decide to vacation in Mysticor.
Yeah, there's other vacation spots.
There's gotta be. You know that like Perfuma has a cute little Airbnb in the woods.
Oh my God, that would be great. Yeah, I think Mermista might be a better vacation host for Adora because I feel like Perfuma might be a little bit overly solicitous. And that might stress Adora out a bit. And I feel like Mermista would just be like, yeah, here's your little vacation spot. I put out some stuff for you. Just like, whatever, have fun. Let me know if you need anything. And then she'd peace out.
I hear Etheria is a beautiful planet this time of year. So I'm sure they're not going to have any problem.
So Adora turns around and yells at them all to stop it.
Yeah.
And then in this like severe quiet that immediately follows, she just says, I'll do it.
It's so heartbreaking the way that she says this.
Yeah, because I mean, what else is she going to do at this point?
What else is she going to do? And Catra says, what's wrong with you? Shadow Weaver's sacrificing you. Why can't you see that? Which, I get it.
Yeah, of course. And Adora looks so tired with her next line. And again, it's like, the inevitability and it's like in that moment of like I've been through this before and I know how it ends and there's no way out for me.
There's no way out. Yeah. And it's not even a there's no way out but through type of situation. It's a like I'm accepting the fact that I am a sacrifice here.
Yeah. Because there is no other option. Like I can't be selfish. It's just like I can't. Because if the whole fucking world is going to die because of me, like no.
Right.
And she says, because even if she is, it's better than Prime getting the heart and destroying the universe. We're out of options. This is the only way.
And like, she's not wrong.
No, they're both not wrong.
They're both not wrong. That's the hard part here.
That is the hard part. And it also reminds me of the end of season 3 of Legend of Korra. And Korra has to decide to sacrifice herself to save the Air Nation.
Yep.
And everybody's arguing about whether or not it's okay for her to do that, whether they should let her do it. And it's like, listen, I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't let everyone die for me. Like, I have to do this.
Yeah. And we see the repercussions of what happens to her.
Yeah, yeah. And again, that kind of indelible trauma, like going so deep on that. And they do it so well.
They do it so well.
And I have a sub-bullet for this moment about how, this representing this type of trauma and PTSD, this also counts as representation. Like we've talked about queer representation, BIPOC representation, neurodivergent representation. Like this is a type of representation that we rarely get in children's media.
That's true.
And like, it's great to have shows like Bluey that model healthy emotional regulation for kids and adults both. But it's also important to have shows like She-Ra and Legend of Korra that kids can relate to who are damaged by trauma and feel broken by it and don't have anything that they can relate to in most media that they see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's special.
Yeah, it is. I never thought about it like that, but you're right. Ugh, poor Adora.
I know.
Ugh, and she's in the middle of all of this stuff. And then, what the fuck? A battle ensues.
Yeah, this is a rough moment to have to jump into battle with chipped Micah.
With chipped fucking Micah with two incredibly powerful sorcerers. Like, these are not schlumps.
No, these are some top-level fighters.
These are some top-level fighters. And he's magicking goo everywhere.
Yeah, he does the whole creepy, calm, bad guy approach with Glimmer and Casta. It's like he's barely exerting any effort. He's just redirecting all of their moves. He's a boss.
Oh my God. He's a fucking boss.
Even as a bad guy, he's still a boss.
Yeah, even as a bad guy, he's still a boss. He kicks ass. This fight is so chaotic. Micah shoots triangles at them. Catra and Adora are like shoving each other aside. Adora gets like wrapped in what is described here as black smoky ropes. So she gets bound up by that.
Adora tries to transform again to help, and she still can't. It's, all just very chaotic fighting.
This is important because Glimmer meets Dad.
Yeah.
And Micah says, "Hello, daughter. I'm so pleased to see you. And you too, sister." And he looks over at Casta. And then, reflecting how all of us feel, turns to Shadow Weaver and says, "Her, not so much."
Yes. We can still relate to him a little, even as a bad guy.
Yeah, because everybody hates Shadow Weaver for a really fucking good reason.
Yes.
And then they have a badass magical battle. They actually do a pretty good job. Like, Glimmer keeps her own up as much as she can against like the best sorcerer that's ever lived.
Yeah, of course. It's, it's not a super long battle, but it is very intense and chaotic. Bo says they have to get out of there. Shadow Weaver says, "The failsafe, we can't." And Adora starts to walk towards the failsafe. She's like, "All right, I'm doing this." Catra sees her and calls out to her, "Adora, no, please. It doesn't always have to be you," which is another moment that just scoops out all of our guts and smashes them on the floor.
Yeah, it does. Ugh.
But Catra can't go after her because she gets zapped with some magic. And so Adora continues on into the failsafe and accepts the magic. And it's very, very powerful and intense and scary, the way that the failsafe goes into her body.
Yeah.
She gets lifted off the ground.
I just want to point out that as she like makes it to the failsafe, she is able to transform. First of all, she knows she has to transform in order to take on the failsafe. And also, she has to transform to blast away all of the energy that Micah has like drawn everybody down and tied everybody up with. This is where she is actually able to transform for the love and protection of her people. She was able to pull it together enough at this moment of crisis.
Yeah, it's not because she knows she has to. It's because she's looking down at this scene and she's filled with love for all of her friends as she's watching them suffer. But before that happens, it's like an extended beat of her, going through this process of being imbued with the magic of the failsafe. It's like surging through her. And there's, this like these little points of light radiating through her body, and she's screaming.
Yeah, that's the part that always gets me, is like the screaming, like the terror.
Yeah, like it looks painful.
It looks painful.
And then it's only after that process is mostly done, and it's like she's coming back to herself a little bit, that she looks down and sees Micah's dark magic overtaking everyone. And that's when she comes back to this calm center and she's like, no,
Right.
fuck all of this. No,
Uh-huh.
I am not letting this happen. I don't know why I make this connection, but, I watched Star Trek The Next Generation a whole lot growing up when I was a kid because my dad was super into it. So I just think of this one line of Captain Picard. I think he was talking about the Borg, and he's telling someone why, he has to do this one thing that he decided to do. He's like, you have to make a line here, no further. And is so passionate about it.
Yes.
And I think about that when Adora has this moment where she is like, nope, I'm not letting this happen. And, it comes from love, but the intensity of that,
Also, it reminds me of Save the Cat when she first transforms.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that deep well inside yourself of conviction.
Yeah.
And it comes from wanting to protect the people you love. It's not motivated by revenge and anger.
Those aren't Adora's motivations.
No. So, she manages her transformation, and it's this blast of good magic countering all of Micah's dark magic, blast it all away at once.
Yeah. It's the light that is disinfecting all of the darkness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like bleach on mold.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Yeah.
And she walks out of the Failsafe device as She-Ra, and she's carrying the Failsafe in/on her chest. It's like raised slightly. It's like a sigil.
It's like a sigil. It's like a heart sigil.
Yeah, it says heart, and it also looks like a heart.
Yeah. Yes, so it says heart, people, by the way. We know the answer to this one.
Yeah, this is one that we know. So Adora runs out. She's got the Failsafe. She binds the bad guys in some magical ropes. And then she runs up to Catra, who's on the floor, and offers her a hand, saying, I've got the Failsafe. Let's get out of here.
Mm-hmm. Catra looks up and is like, no.
She's got her eyes full of tears.
Yeah, her eyes are full of tears. She refuses the hand as she runs away with Mila.
Yeah. And Adora is also pretty sad.
Everyone's a fucking mess here.
Yeah.
Glimmer has to confront her evil dad. Bo's like, oh my God, one of my best friends almost got killed. Everyone hates Shadow Weaver.
Yeah, none of them have time to process because they gotta bounce.
Because it's the fucking end of the world, and whoever has time to process at the end of the world.
Yeah, they all just stumble out of there, and they're like half dragging wounded Casta.
Yeah.
And She-Ra collapses the entrance, so chipped Micah and his sorcerer cronies cannot follow.
Yeah.
And he just sort of gives them like evil, glary side eye. And yeah, that's the end of that scene. But they got what they came for.
That's the end of that scene. But they got what they came for, and they got out of there.
Yeah. So we're in our last little wrap-up scene. Well, we're back at Rebel Base Camp.
Sorry, I'm making pained noises because this is pain.
I know. It's so hard. It's like, oh, good. We got through the hard stuff.
Everything's going to be great from now on. They just have to go and fix it now.
So we're back at Rebel Base Camp. Everything's going to be fine now, right?
It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine.
And Trapta's hard at work studying the data she got from Clone Camp.
Yeah.
She's looking at a schematic of the clones, which, it doesn't necessarily have to specifically be Hordak, but she's smiling at it, and obviously she's thinking about Hordak.
Right, she's like, yeah, I saw my boyfriend.
Yeah. So things are good for her.
Yeah.
She did a really good job today. She's earned a few moments of happiness.
Good for her.
Yeah, good job, Entrapta. And meanwhile, the rest of our buddies are getting some well-earned shut-eye, and so we transition over to the bunk area.
Or they're trying to.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are. Bo and Glimmer are asleep side by side on their little bunk rolls. And asleep Bo puts his hand out to touch Glimmer's arm, which is so sweet. Comfort and safety in dark times.
We love them. Oh, they're so good.
And so we contrast that, Bo and Glimmer being able to take comfort from each other, to Catra and Adora right next to them. Adora is also asleep on her bedroll, and Milog is cuddling with her like a good kitty.
Yeah, but also like Milog is the emotions that Catra wants to be able to pull up right now.
But Catra herself is, after everything they just went through, she just can't bear to make herself vulnerable again because she just knows how it's going to play out and it's just going to break her again.
Yep. And before we have this moment here, this horrible moment, gayest moment, the two of them, they push their little bed rolls together.
Yeah.
They're like right fucking next to each other. Good for them.
Yes, that's right. That's
and,
right.
Adora is effectively cuddling with Catra, though it's not actual Catra. It's just emotional Catra.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just watch your girlfriend sleep and have a lot of feelings while you're doing it.
Yeah. And sometimes you look at the failsafe on her chest and you feel like you just can't take it.
You can't. Yeah. So you get your cute little tan backpack, which you've apparently already packed.
Yeah, I mean, she's been thinking about this for a while Adora's been crashed out sleeping.
Yeah. And she leaves.
Without looking back.
Without looking back. And Milog gets up and is like, okay.
And Milog meows at her. And I'm translating that meow as like, dude, what? What are you doing?
Dude, what? And Adora wakes up.
Because she's lost her weighted cat blanket.
Right. It's like happens if you're snuggling and then all of a sudden the cat moves and you're like,
where's my kitty?
But also she wakes up because Milog isn't there and looks at Catra's empty bed.
Right, of course. That's what makes her get up is the fact that Catra's not there.
Yeah, so she gets up and Catra's a mess. She's so mad. They're just like walking. They're just leaving. And Milog's talking to her.
Yeah. He's like, why are we going? Like, I'm with you if we're going, but why are we going?
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you where if we're going, but why are we going? And where are we going? What's going on?
It's like, I thought we love Adora. Don't we love Adora?
We love Adora.
Don't you want to bring Adora if we're leaving? Shouldn't we bring Adora?
Should we go get Adora? Where's Adora?
Adora gets to the doorway and sees them walking away and calls out for Catra.
Yeah.
And Catra pauses just for like a second. And then she begins to run. And Adora calls out for her to stop, but of course she doesn't. And Adora runs after her.
Mm-hmm.
And they literally have like a low-key knockdown drag out. Like they're not really fighting.
They're tussling here.
Yeah, that's a good word. Like Catra jumps up into a tree and Adora jumps up after her and pulls her down. And Catra's tail fuffs out, the way a cat does when they're like really upset.
Yeah.
Adora pulls her backpack off.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's trying to grab Catra, but she ends up just grabbing the backpack.
She ends up grabbing the backpack.
Adora's just desperate for Catra to talk to her and not run away.
Mm-hmm.
And, Adora finally grabs her wrists.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like crying. You were just going to leave?
Yeah.
And Catra shoves her off. She like shoves the backpack into her arms and pushes her off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saying, I'm doing you a favor. I'm a distraction, right? Now you can go save the world without having to worry about me confusing you.
Mm.
Oh. And Adora, it's so gutting. She says, no, that's not true. Don't listen to Shadow Weaver. This isn't about her. And Catra shoves Adora again, like really forcefully shoves her away.
Yeah.
And says, why? Why are you like this? Why do you always have to sacrifice everything for everyone else? And she starts crying and she says, when do you get to choose? What do you want, Adora?
Okay, we're just going to pause here for a second. My heart is now broken, so I just need to pause and breathe. Jenny, can we just breathe together?
That's a great idea. Let's all breathe, everybody at home.
I'm just going to take in a big, deep breath. I'm just going to take in all of the energy of the world from my feet all the way up to the crown of my head. And then I'm just going to push it all the way out back into the ground and thank the earth for giving me this. Okay.
All right.
This is heartbreaking. This is an absolutely heartbreaking thing. Other than the fact that obviously we know this is a gayest moment. This is like a heartbreaking gay moment.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to just go roll back for a little bit to the conversation. Like when they actually are talking to each other and not like wrestling with each other.
Mm-hmm.
First, we have Catra leaving Adora. The beginning of the series and throughout Catra's entire like arc of her relationship with Adora, it's always been Adora leaves her.
Right.
So now we have Catra quote unquote preempting this, right?
Right.
We have Catra doing this thing, which in a small sense looks like a place of agency in Catra's mind, when really she's just pushing Adora away and doing the exact same thing that Shadow Weaver has always prompted her to do. Like, she's literally doing what Shadow Weaver wants her to do.
Right. Yeah, she's leaving Adora because she feels like if she doesn't, Adora's just going to end up leaving her, and she doesn't want to watch it happen.
Exactly.
I mean, she literally says that.
Yeah, she said, I'm doing you a favor. Now you can go save the world without having to worry about me confusing you. So we heard Shadow Weaver say that before, the confusing part. And then we have Catra, like, referencing that. And I want to know what you think Shadow Weaver meant and what Catra means about confusing Adora.
What I think Catra means, is confusing Adora about her priorities.
Mm-hmm.
Between like, I love you and I just want us to be together versus like, oh, but I have to help everybody and save the world. And that's what I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Confusing, emotions are confusing.
Right.
And I'm not supposed to be about emotions. I'm supposed to be about big damn hero stuff.
Right.
And Shadow Weaver, I mean, she's not capable of understanding any motivations that aren't about power and manipulation.
Right.
If she was, she would understand that Adora's power comes from love, but she's not capable of understanding that.
Right, that's true. She is an adept enough magical scholar to understand that. Like that, I completely agree. Like that's her block. Yeah.
Right. So I think that Shadow Weaver just thinks that if you let emotions in, you will be confused. Emotions just muddle everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that that's the best I can do, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you there. There's definitely gayness in that. Like, there's definitely, like, the evil villain reading the gayness of, like, you don't want her confusing you, right? Like, it's like a distraction.
Yeah. It's like, you have to, and again, it's the same stuff, with Buffy, like even in early Buffy in season 2, when she meets Kendra's like, oh, you have friends? You have human connections? You're not supposed to have that. That's going to take you off task. You're supposed to just be disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
Being the Slayer is just about discipline and study. And that's how you win.
Yeah.
And Buffy's like, no, I win better when I let my friends in and let them help me and be part of a support system.
You can never hope to grasp the source of our power.
Exactly.
So thank you, because I wanted to unpack that, because I was like, how is Catra's existence confusing her? And I was like, oh, Catra just being there and being a source of love confuses Adora and distracts her from the mission.
Because Shadow Weaver's whole speech to Adora in the hallway about how, like, oh, Sheer is a being of pure magic.
Mm-hmm.
If you let your emotions in, you're going to lose your focus.
Right, where it's like, actually, Shadow Weaver, if you've been paying attention to our podcast the entire time, you know that being a being of pure magic means being a being of pure love.
Right. Like, that's how she was able to conjure She-Ra from within in the first place after she shattered the sword.
Right, exactly.
Her love of Catra is what brought She-Ra out in the first place.
Yes.
Catra's the opposite of a distraction. And what's really heartbreaking for me in this conversation is when Catra says, when do you get to choose? What do you want, Adora? Her response to that isn't a direct answer to that question.
No, it's not.
She just says, I have to do this, Catra. I'm the only one who can. So it's like, she doesn't feel like she even has the luxury of making choices for herself. And that's the point. And Catra can't even hear that, though.
No, because Catra wanted to hear me.
Of course. And that's what Adora wants. But she doesn't feel like she has the luxury of getting to have the things that she wants.
Right.
When the whole fate of the universe is on the line. It's not even the fate of just Etheria. It's the fate of the whole fucking universe. And so Catra's next line, she's like muddling those two together. She says, then do it. That's what you want. That's what you always choose. Like, no, it's not what she wants.
Right.
But she just feels like she doesn't get to choose.
Right. But Catra sees this as, okay, you're always going to choose being the big damn hero. You're always going to choose duty. You're always going to leave me.
Right. And she says, I don't have to stay and watch it happen.
Yeah.
Which I do understand.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, if you're going to choose to put yourself through this agony over and over, like, I can't stop you from doing that, but I don't have to stick around and watch.
But I don't have to watch this. Yeah.
Like, I can't survive watching you hurt yourself over and over.
Right. And Adora says, Catra, please stay. I need you.
Yeah. And it's really important their physical positions at this point, because this is kind of an inversion of how they were in the episode when Catra's chip was removed. Was that taking control, right?
Taking control. Yep.
Because in that episode, Adora was standing and Catra was on her knees asking Adora to stay.
Yes.
And now Catra is standing and Adora is on her knees asking Catra to stay.
Yeah. And Catra doesn't.
Right.
Catra doesn't because she does not believe
Right.
that Adora needs her. Because if Adora needed her, she would have chosen her.
Right.
And that's also the thing here is that, like, well, yeah, Dora's got to choose the, like, saving the world. And Catra's point of view of, like, you're going to choose to sacrifice yourself doesn't leave space for we can save the world together.
Right.
Like, this is two people that are very hurt, but there is also that underlying thing of, like, I want you to choose me. And I want you to be able to know that we can do this together. And I don't think I'm reading too much into that. I don't think it's purely I don't think Catra wants the world to end.
No, of course not. But like they have different ideas of what does that mean to save the world together. Like someone had to take the failsafe. That is their mission.
Uh-huh.
If anyone else did it, they would die immediately.
Yeah.
The only person who has a chance of not dying immediately is Adora. And Adora still wants Catra to stay with her and go do this mission together.
Right.
You know, she's asking her to stay. She's saying, let's do this together. But, you know, someone still had to take the failsafe.
Someone still had to take the failsafe, but Catra's like, no.
So Catra perceives that as Adora not choosing her.
Right.
But Adora doesn't see it that way.
Adora doesn't see it that way. Therein lies the rub.
Therein lies the rub. Because Adora is asking her to stay.
Yeah.
And like, let's do this together. But Catra doesn't see that as them doing it together.
So Adora says, please stay. I need you. And this is heartbreaking because you know that Catra doesn't want to say this.
I know.
She says, no, you don't. You never have.
And then she and Milog disappear, leaving Adora on the ground, clutching her backpack.
Oh. And we have this shot where, like, you know, to emphasize the emptiness, the shot's pulled back and it's her in the centered in the middle. And we have like the trees just around her. She's in a clearing in the woods.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's like literally does the like shouting to God, right? Like, Catra! Like she should like rip her shirt for it, you know?
Yeah. The rending of the clothes. That's a, old timey traditional sign of mourning.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. It's so gutting.
It's gutting. It is absolutely gutting.
And it's so fucking gay.
This is really fucking gay.
Yeah, like as gutting it is, I still remember the first time I saw this being like, holy shit, I can't believe they're really going there.
Yeah, same. I remember when I was like, what? Are they doing this?
Yeah. Like this is an extremely deep and complex queer relationship.
Right. And like, watching it now, because Jenny and I have watched this a million zillion times. And so we're able to kind of talk about this and be like, these are what the characters' motivations are and this and this. But like watching it for the first time and you're watching it being like, you don't want me like I want you. You're definitely like for the first time I watched this, I'm like, oh, they're just being messy gays. Like not even like thinking deeper or anything.
Yeah. Or you're just like punching your roommate's shoulder 1,000 times, being like, oh my God, do you see this? Do you see this? It's so fucking gay. This is real. This is really happening.
Yeah, you're like, this isn't about saving the world. It's just about gay.
Like you just can't believe that you really get to have this.
Yeah, because this is not subtext.
No.
There are points where, like, at this point, you cannot say that this is subtextual.
No, it is not. This is not, as much as we love Legend of Korra, this is not like, okay, did you see that? Did you see her blush? Like, that's meant to be, whatever. And you can argue against it.
This is like, I need you. I love you. Please stay. Why aren't you doing this for me? I love you. What do you want? Do you want me?
Yeah. I mean, it just blows the whole field wide open. And then back at camp, finally, Adora is ready to really fucking give it to Shadow Weaver.
She is.
She comes back to camp, still hugging Catra's backpack and crying. And for some reason, Shadow Weaver's like right there at the door, ready to greet her. Because she can like sniff out pain And she's like, oh, somebody's upset? Num, num, num.
I broke these gays up again.
Yeah. So she's ready to talk to Adora and like lap up all her misery because it's so tasty. And she tells Adora she made the right choice, doing another fucking creepy face touch. As she says, don't let Catra convince you otherwise. She's never understood. And finally, Adora smacks Shadow Weaver's hand away.
Yeah.
Telling her, stop. I will never forgive you. You ruin people. You ruin any chance they could ever be happy. Haven't you done enough? And Shadow Weaver, to the extent that she's capable of facial expressions with her mask, she actually looks surprised.
Yeah.
For a second. And she says, I did what I had to. And Doris says, keep telling yourself that.
So this is an interesting inversion of I'm doing what I have to do. Because Adora keeps saying that through the episode, right? Like, Adora is saying, I have to do this, I have to do this.
Right.
And so when confronted with this, like, raw anger and hurt from Adora, Shadow Weaver says the same thing. I did what I have to do. Shadow Weaver also believes that this is the way to do things. And, of course, has, imprinted that upon Adora.
Yeah.
This doesn't come from nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, she feels justified.
Yeah, and she also feels duty.
Yeah, I don't know if she feels duty, but she definitely wants to win. Duty implies that she feels obligation to anyone other than herself.
So you don't feel like she also believes that this is duty to, the planet?
I don't know.
In the sense that, she knows she has a place, she has to live on the planet. She's not going anywhere.
Yeah. But that's still a selfish motivation. Like she doesn't want to end up with no place to live. But duty implies that she wants to do it for anyone other than herself.
I think there is a twisted sense of duty there where she is understanding that, if I do this, I'm saving the world.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like it's a self-justified thing. The same way that Adora also self-justifies with, I did what I had to do.
Yeah. I guess I can't argue against that.
Shadow Weaver is fine with doing what she had to do and disposing of people also. That's the other thing.
Yes.
Whereas when Adora is like, I did what I had to do, does not see it as such.
Right. Shadow Weaver doesn't care about collateral damage.
She doesn't care about collateral damage. No.
So Adora's last line is, after Shadow Weaver just says, I did what I had to do. Adora says, keep telling yourself that. I'm going to take the failsafe to the heart and I'm going to save Etheria, but I am not doing it for you. I'll do everything I can to make sure you never get your hands on the magic. And then she storms off, leaving Shadow Weaver standing there like a dumb fuck.
As she should be.
As she should. And that is the fucking end of this basket of horrors.
This basket of horrors. Oh God. I'm leaving this and I'm going to have a piece of pie and getting a hug and snuggling my cats.
Yeah, I'm going to go have a midnight dinner. Thank you. I can't believe we did it. This is rough.
This was rough. So, Jenny.
So, Meph.
What did we learn?
Oh my God. I think we learned that we are about to save the world with magic that is love. And that if we can hold on to love for our friends, for our community, and for the world, that we have a pretty good chance of saving the world from pure evil. And that if we let ourselves be manipulated by people who do not have love in their heart, then we could get distracted. So don't listen to people who don't love you.
Yeah.
Even if it seems like they know smart things. If you know they don't love you, don't fucking listen to those people.
Yeah, fuck them.
Fuck them. Listen to people who love you and who have love and care in their hearts.
And if that's really hard, just know that there are people out there that love and care for you and don't want to just take things from you.
That's right. You're worth more than what you can give to other people.
You are worth more than... Well, we don't have that lesson yet.
We don't have that lesson yet, but I feel like it's worth repeating right now because this is a really hard episode to get through.
Yeah.
And I feel like it brings up a lot of pain and trauma for a lot of people for all kinds of different reasons and shit that it connects to. And for whatever you might be feeling right now and going through, don't be distracted by mind games and and all that kind of shit. You know, if we focus on love for each other, love for our communities, love for the world, we have a much better chance of getting through these dark times.
Amen. Well, folks, if you liked what you heard and you want to get a massive glowing tattoo on your chest, you can like and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast fix. You can also find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube at HeyAdoraCast, or you can just email us love. Just send some love. We're really tender right now, so email us some love at heyadoracast@gmail.com. Please, wherever you find us, give a like and a comment and follow us and just give us more love there. We really, really need the love right now. Jenny, did you hear we have a Patreon?
I have heard that our Patreon is a great place to talk to great people.
It is a great place to talk to great people. If you become a member of the Rebellion, you get fantastic perks, like hanging out on our Discord, video hangouts, playlists,
live watches,
so much more.
Yes.
And you can find the link to our Patreon, as well as the link to this week's Spotify playlist, Failsafe. Oh, gosh, that's a sad one. In our show notes, or at heyadora.gay.
That's right, folks. You can always find all of our stuff at our awesomely gay website, heyadora.gay.
That's right. And remember, and keep this one to your heart right now. As we go through these difficult times, queer joy is radical.
And queer love, as always, saves the universe.
Breathing in and breathing out.